welcome to Dominico Field.
The one benefit of having a guy like Richardson, unlike all the Rays that the Maple Leafs had on the mound yesterday between Desca and Castro and Hernandez and Sam Green, is that Richardson is that lefty against a lefty-heavy lineup, including Gio Morello and Justin Gideon, the first two bats in this game.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton of people who expected as there's the first pitch, first strikeout for Dustin Richardson, a swing and a miss on an outside fastball. There wasn't a ton of people who thought Dustin Richardson was going to be a starter in the playoffs. Didn't pitch a whole lot, had some injury troubles with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now here in the playoffs, all of a sudden, this Leafs rotation looks a lot different.
This was always going to be the plan, right? I mean, it was Damon Topley, and I guess you can say Garrett Takamatsu kept it close to their chest, but this was always the plan to let Dustin Richardson lose come playoff time. And as you said, this makes a massive difference. Instead of having a rotation of Castro, Sloan, Desca, Dustin Richardson's up there as one of the better number twos in this league, I have to say.
Strikeouts are something that you're going to see a lot of from Dustin Richardson. If he's on his game, that's the key to his success. Gianfranco Morello was the first strikeout of the inning. He struck out now 6 times in the playoffs already. There's a swing and a miss on an outside breaking ball that time. This is Justin Gideon, known as one of the better hitters in the Intercounty Baseball League, maybe the best hitter in the Intercounty Baseball League this year, led it with 19 home runs.
I think he's the best player in the league. Really played offensively. I have to say best bat, too, this season.
This one's popped up on a fastball from Richardson. Vinicio goes back, makes the catch, and a quick 1-2 for Dustin Richardson. And here comes Mattingly Romanen.
And Dustin Richardson started game 2 of the last series against the Baycats up in Midhurst. He went 4 innings, and quite frankly, he was a guy that was able to go 5, 6, 7 innings. His arm felt great. It was just, his back was a little, giving him some issues. But there's really no pitch limit for Dustin Richardson in this game. But they do have Dylan Jacober, who beat Jackfish in Welland earlier in the season, ready to go if needed.
Romanen takes the first pitch low, ball 1. Mattingly Romanen was a 39th round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays in 2015. Didn't play a whole lot this year, just 14 games with the Welland Jackfish, but no question he can swing the bat.
Yeah, and he had some coaching commitments, kind of like a Marcus Connect, although his was a bit more in and out. Connect stage, when he came back, he was back for the rest of the season, but kind of like Richardson, right? I mean, in and out throughout the season. Now he's the number 2 guy, and Romanen is back in the 3 spot for the Jackfish.
This one's fouled off. And just like Marcus Connect was playing a lot of pro ball before this, played in the NCAA as well, was an over 300 hitter with Chicago State. Made it all the way up to A-ball with the Lansing Lugnuts as well.
Yeah, that's the one benefit. This Jackfish team, they don't have a lot of pro guys. I'll mind you, they got a lot of guys who could potentially play pro. We look further down their lineup at James Schmeibert, began this season playing independent baseball, and a few others. Ethan Hunt, they lost to professional baseball just a couple of weeks back. So it's nice to have for the Jackfish a guy like Romanen who has pro experience.
1-2 from Richardson. This one's hit in the air deep to left field, and that one is gone. Mattingly Romanen hits one way into the trees at Dominico Field, and the Jackfish are out in front 1-0.
That might be the biggest moonshot Dustin Richardson has ever allowed here at Christie Pitts. 2-out bomb, and at Christie Pitts, 2-out bombs don't exactly, cause a lot of pain for you, especially given no one was on base. But nonetheless, once again, the Jackfish get out to that early lead.
Yeah, Mattingly Romanen just did something that I don't know when the last time someone hit a home run off Dustin Richardson was.
Well, Dalton Pompey did it in Guelph a couple of weeks back, but that was a first pitch fastball that Richardson threw Pompey. He wasn't expecting it. Pompey hit it out, but that was an absolute moonshot from Romanen. Although I have to say this game's not going to finish 1-0.
0-1 count now on Sam Cocker, the catcher. Cocker hit .348 in the regular season. Fouls this one back.
Cocker had a double last night, the first inning. Or I should say the second inning off of, oh no, it was first inning off of Angel Castro. That was dead center. Christie pitched a home run and said it was a bases clearing double for Cocker in game 1, so he's coming in with a hot bat.
Yeah, that was his first double of the playoffs, as this one's inside. 1-2. Just 3 for 15 right now. Sam Cocker was an extremely hot bat in the regular season, but still looking to find his groove here in the playoffs. The 1-2. This one's hit in the air, deep to left field again, and the Welland Jackfish go back-to-back off of Dustin Richardson. It's 2-0.
2 quick outs against 2 of the Jackfish best bats, but 2 right-handed bats absolutely destroy the baseball, and that one wasn't to the soccer field. And this is a dream start for the Jackfish.
Yeah, you can't tell me anyone's ever gone back-to-back off Dustin Richardson.
No,
there's no way. That's got to be the first time. Well, there's no question that the Welland Jackfish were, if not the best hitting team in the Intercounty Baseball League this year, they were right up there. London Majors would give them a run for their money as well. The Guelph Royals looked like it, but weren't able to perform in the playoffs.
Whoa.
And there we go. There's the first ball we've got into the broadcast booth. How about that? Another one hit in the air. This one's a can of corn for Marcus Connect, but not before the Welland Jackfish put up a couple of runs and lead 2-0 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Dominico Field here at Christie Pitts. Jose Vinicio leading things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Thomas West alongside Ryan Eakin. Welland Jackfish out to a 2-0 lead with a couple of back-to-back home runs with 2 outs in the top of the first. Mike Wagner is the pitcher and delivers a breaking ball for strike 1 against Jose Benicio, and that breaking ball is something that we will likely see a lot of from Wagner here today.
Soft throwing lefty, ex-Maple Leaf. The guy that is kind of like Chris Bowato, Rich Carenta. They have a lot of soft throwing lefties that Jackfish do, and we'll see how that plays tonight against lefty heavy Maple Leafs lineup.
Benicio, a switch hitter leading things off, takes in the dirt for ball 1. Count is 1-2 on Jose Benicio, who had a night last night, you could say. 5 for 7, hit a home run, had a couple of RBIs in the leadoff spot. That was one of the best games we've seen from Jose Benicio.
That was his best game in the IBL.
Here's a ground ball to shortstop. Throw on to first in the dirt, but picked out beautifully by the first baseman. There's one away.
Wagner's a guy that's going to throw a lot, as you said, off-speed pitches. Should be interesting. He's going to mix in that fastball here and there, right? And when he does, he's going to look at freeze the Maple Leafs and expecting breaking pitches, but a lot of junk's going to come his way tonight. But the Leafs had success yesterday against Chris Bowato out of the bullpen, and same kind of guy tonight.
Justin Mara, the batter. Mara also had a home run, 3 for 6 last night, in that 15-10 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
About 2-0 on the count. So what the Leafs batters want to do in this game, take a couple pitches and get fastball counts against a guy that doesn't have a great fastball.
This one's fouled off.
The Jackfish pretty much have their full bullpen. They didn't really overextend anyone yesterday, including Casey Howard, who came in to face one bat, and that was it.
Breaking ball just outside, 3-1 to Justin Mara.
Mara was the Leafs catcher in 2016 when Wagner was on the Leaf team, and Wagner was the ace of that Maple Leafs team that went to the championship finals.
Pitches in there for a strike, 3-2 on Justin Mara. Mara now 6 for 14 in the playoffs. A home run and 5 RBIs. Slow breaking ball is low, ball 4. Justin Mara shows some great patience, and he's aboard. And Justin Mara's not a guy who we've seen steal a lot of bases or have a ton of speed. Stole a base last night. We've seen him catch teams off guard before. So, don't forget about Justin Mara over there at first base.
So one of them that he had was on the back end of Benicio. It's not always helps, but he's had some stolen bases this season that have been legit. He had a couple of them yesterday.
Toronto Maple Leafs trying to get 1 or maybe 2 runs back from the Welland Jackfish. Back to home runs in the first. And they did a good job of coming back last night. Went up 1-0, but then eventually found themselves down 9-2, but didn't give up. Ended up winning that game 15-10. 6-run inning helped them on their way to that. Jordan Castaldo lines winning down for a base hit. Justin Mara, aggressive round to the second base. Now he throws it away. Justin Mara is going to move up to second, and he is going to be stopped right there. Mara back to third base. Castaldo up to second, and that is a major throwing error from the Welland Jackfish. With 1 out, there's runners on second and third. The bottom of the first.
That is a base hit by Castaldo, and then everybody Gideon out and right that will advance Mara to third base, and Castaldo at second. Mara was going to stop at second base. And it brings up Marcus Connect. The corners come in, at least the first baseman does. And I have to say, Connect's had some big hits for the Maple Leafs in the last week or so.
He sure has. 11 for 20 in the playoffs, a .550 batting average, although it is a small sample size, but it does show how powerful Marcus Connect has been in the playoffs. You can think back to a lot of big hits that Marcus Connect has had for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and maybe none bigger than the walk-off RBI single with the Toronto Maple Leafs down by 2 against the Barrie Baycats to help them sweep the series. Marcus Connect hammers one deep to center field, back to the wall. It's gone! Marcus Connect, a 3-run home run, and just like that, the Toronto Maple Leafs are out in front.
Damon Talbot got some competition for who's the hottest bat for the Maple Leafs right now. He's got all these base hits and stuff, what have you, but Marcus Connect is in one right now for the Maple Leafs. Unbelievable. It's dead center. It's 3-2 Maple Leafs.
It's almost been impossible to get Marcus Connect out in the last 2 weeks. He's showing up in the playoffs. It's time for the real season.
And this is, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because all season people are like, oh, the Leafs offense ranks third in home runs, you rank fifth in batting, whatever it may be. And I'm like, Mark's Connect is in Florida right now. He's not even in Toronto. Once he gets back, you can't judge the Leafs lineup in May and June, and even July. From the base going to be in August and September. And here comes Marcus Connect. To me, he's one of the best right-handed bats in the league.
Yeah, and unlike last year, Marcus Connect wasn't playing in the Atlantic League this year. He was coaching, so it took him a little while to get the bat around. Talked to Mackenzie Kruger as well, though, and Marcus said it's a lot easier to get back into it when you're around the game. You're always at batting practice. You're critiquing guys on what they're doing. It's just about you really going out and doing it.
Yeah, and the talent, he knows the talent's there for him, right? It's just a matter of getting back at it. That was the first time Connect has ever faced Regner. Connect became a Maple Leaf back in 2018. Regner at that time, he was done with the Maple Leafs, so the first time he's faced him, he was 1-for-1.
John Salazzo hits one on the ground. That's a fantastic play by the second baseman and a throw on to first. Taylor Dupuis stabbing one to his left.
One thing that Jackfish do, they have 2 errors in this game, or 1 error, I should say. So it's not I don't want to jinx them, but they are one of the better defensive teams in the league alongside London. Obviously, has been one of the better teams defensively all season.
Yeah, some sure-handed guys, some great throwers, and by the way, they're all some of the fastest guys in the league. Pitch is low and inside for ball 1. Another one hit on the ground. This one's to third. Throw to first in time, but not before the Toronto Maple Leafs get 3 runs on the red-hot hitter. There's no one hotter than Marcus Connect. Maple Leafs lead 3-2. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. First pitch to Tyler Dupuis is hit on the ground. It's a bunt, and John Salazzo throws him out. Dustin Richardson hit the deck to make sure John Salazzo had the time to throw that ball to first base.
I'm not sure if you saw it yesterday, but I think it was the 9th inning. Franklin Hernandez dropped to the ground too, but Franklin's got a lot easier to make it to the ground than Dustin Richardson.
And the Undertaker? Yeah.
Yeah. The big guy.
So 1 pitch, 1 out.
But that's the kind of play that Jackfish will make in this game. Test Salazzo at third base. Test any third baseman, given the speed they have.
That's an interesting play to drop down the bunt there as well. There's no question that Tyler Dupuis is one of the hottest hitters in the league right now, but he might have been testing the defense down there at third base for John Salazzo. That has been something that's been a little bit of an issue this year for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but credit to Salazzo. He was on his toes and made the play easily.
We all love Salaza, but no question he's not, prime Scott Rowland at third base. But he's had a nice playoffs, not to jinx him. He's had nice playoffs down at third base, let alone what he's done with his bat.
Mateo Porcatello's the batter, hitting .500 in the playoffs. Also had a big home run to bring it within 1 for the Welland Jackfish last night, and now he takes outside ball 4. Dustin Richardson is not happy about it. Porcatello is going to head down to first base.
The one thing Richardson does is throw strikes. Maybe he loves home runs, but he's going to throw strikes. He wanted that call, but no way of telling on top of the Christie Hillside whether or not that was a strike or a ball.
We can get mad about it if you want.
I can get angry sometimes.
I just don't really think that's
It'd have
warranted.
to be outraged. Like, it would have to be so obvious up here that, even the umpires say, "Oh yeah, I made a mistake." I mean, otherwise, I'm just guessing up here.
The 0-1. Hogan Brown takes a strike. 0-2.
I can see the 0-2, so the Jackfish won't be bunting, but I can see the guy take it off at first base.
Yeah.
Porcatello at first base.
I'm a huge fan of the green bats that the Welland Jackfish have.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
He's gonna take off.
0-2. Not going. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Dustin Richardson gets him swinging. 2 away.
One thing I noticed with the Richardson last week against the Baycats, because the Baycats wanted to keep running because of his team top league behind the plate. Although that didn't really pay off for them in the slightest. But Richardson does have that move that when he's throwing the pitch to the plate, he still has that move. It looks like he's going to pick off. So that can play to his advantage against a team that I like to say can run some bases.
There goes the runner. Throw down to second base. It's way offline. That'll be a stolen base for Porcatello.
And that's what you need, right? Nicholson's struggling at the plate right now. So why not get him now within a base head tying the game instead of trying to get a ball in the gap to tie the game?
Mateo Porcatello had 27 stolen bases in the regular season in 38 games. The guy at the plate had 48. Brandon Nicholson. Watch for a ball hit on the ground.
Yeah.
He could beat it out, but Brandon Nicholson is in some kind of a funk right now. 0 for 14 in the playoffs so far. Nicholson pops it up. This is going to be playable for Jordan Castaldo. He drifts over, makes the catch, and Dustin Richardson gets through the inning. A couple home runs in the first, but settles down very nicely in the top of the second. Maple Leafs leading 3-2 over the Welland Jackfish, and the Bats coming up. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here. 3-2 Toronto Maple Leafs for the Welland Jackfish. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Dan Mara is the batter. Mara squares to bunt and takes a slow, maybe a changeup outside.
Do you think the mics can pick up on Castro right now, or
Do I think the what?
do you think the mics can pick up on Castro? He was quiet in the first inning, and now he's having some time down there.
Yeah, if you're new to the Toronto Maple Leafs broadcasts or Maple Leafs baseball. Angel Castro, whether he's pitching or not pitching, he was the starter last night.
But it's never as bad as when he's pitching. It's way worse. But this is up there.
Angel Castro is animated. He loves to make noise. He's cheering on his team. But if you didn't know that, it sounds like something else.
If you close your eyes, man, you'd be running.
Pitch is in there for a strike 3-2. Mike Wagner is battling back in this at-bat against Dan Mara. Full count pitch. Mara pops it up. This could be a tricky play. Out goes Dupuis. He makes the catch. Had a long way to run. And there's one away.
Brings up Damon Topley on that pop out to the second baseman. Damon Topley batting .563. Hit by a couple pitches last night, but he's having himself a week right now in terms of he's out of the plate for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, Damon Topley had an incredible game last night. 3 for 4, 2 RBIs, and 2 hit by pitches.
Yeah. Now, the first one I was a bit concerned about was his elbow, and he needed some time down the first baseline just to reset, but he's going to save the game.
Just over the inside corner. Damon didn't like it. 0-2.
Wagner was not throwing strikes in the first inning. He threw more balls than he did strikes. But now he's got more strikes than balls, not only in this inning, but now throughout the game.
The 0-2 to Topley. Way outside. 1-2. Damon Topley will not strike out a lot. Loves to put the bat on the ball. Will shoot it the other way with the best of them.
Yeah. Professional at bat.
And that's exactly what he does there. Slow ground ball to shortstop. Topley trying to beat it out down the line. But the throw is just in time. 2 away.
Ninth, left fielder, number 15, Greg Carrington.
James Smybert knew he had lots of time, and he got a tricky hop as well. So smart to back up on that ball.
And the Leafs, has 2 quick outs, but Carrington gets on base and brings up the red-hot Jose Vinicio. Third baseman not playing 2. Mally Romano not playing 2 in, so there's an opportunity for perhaps Carrington to lay down a bunt here to get on base that way.
Carrington takes outside for a ball. It feels like Mike Wagner has a lot of really nasty stuff, but he's just missing the outside corners. Way inside. That one missed by a long shot. 2-0.
Don't forget, he was the Leafs ace in 2016. They absolutely stunned London in a 7-game playoff series in the semifinals. London won the pennant that season. They end up losing to the Dynasty Baycat team, but
Carrington hits one in the air, high and deep to right field. Does it stay fair? Yes, it does. It's gone. Greg Carrington opens up a 2-run lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's 4-2.
Who was the clown on the broadcast telling him to lay down a bunt down the third baseline? I mean, why do that when you can just hit a home run and extend the Leafs lead to 4-2?
Greg Carrington has always been a fantastic hitter for the Maple Leafs. This season, always down in the 9 spot, maybe underrated, but he's come up with some big hits. That's his first home run of the playoffs.
So the league sent me a ballot that I had to fill out. The first team All-Star, second team All-Star. They also made me fill out who was the Leafs' unsung hero this season as the rain starts to pick up here. And I went with Greg Carrington. He's in the lineup almost every game. He's batting 9th. He's a second leadoff guy. He plays great defense. He can play left, center, right. I thought Carrington was the unsung hero for the Maple Leafs throughout the season.
That's a good vote. Big hop to the third baseman. High throw. It's in time. And that will do it. But Greg Carrington with a stunning 2-out home run. High and deep. It was a moonshot. Just got over the fence in right field. And the Toronto Maple Leafs lead 4-2 over the Welland Jackfish. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Dustin Richardson back on the mound. He has an 0-1 count, and we have some news to announce as well.
Yeah, I got some news to announce. So,
first pitch is bunted. Richardson fields with the bare hand, whips at the first in time. What a play by Dustin Richardson.
So, that's Dustin Richardson on the mound for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
I said to you before the game, like, what? Mike Wagner, he's a righty. Like, I knew who Wagner was. I thought maybe he was becoming like a Pat Vendetti or something, but no, that's Chris Lazar. So, Mike Wagner, he's not pitching this game. It's Chris Lazar. The Jackfish sent me the lineup 10 minutes prior to the game, 15, saying that it was Mike Wagner. So, I can only go by what the lineup says.
Don't you have to put the right name on the lineup, or is it about the number?
No, you do. Yeah.
Name?
That's on them. That's on the and there's no they didn't notify of any change or anything. So
Did you run up the hill?
yeah, and then I think it was Hogan Brown said, "Yeah, that's Chris Lazar." I said, "Thanks." So yeah, Chris Lazar against Dustin Richardson, a battle of the lefties.
And lefty pitchers good against this Maple Leafs lineup. Two teams, probably the two teams in the league that have the most lefties in the lineup. A lot of good hitting lefties as well.
A lot of lefties too, but 100%.
Richardson delivers over the outside corner, now 3-1.
You don't want to put Gideon on base and bring up Romanen, who had a home run his last time up, and not only was it a home run, it was an absolute moonshot.
3-1. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Home plate umpire called it, then checked. And the umpire down the third baseline also called it. It seemed like a pretty clear swing from Justin
like I
Gideon.
said, top of the Christie Hillside, I don't like making calls, but I think everyone but Gideon was on the same page on that one. But hey, if you're Gideon, I mean, you might take a ball in the gap or a home run over a walk. We'll see what happens.
The 3-2. This one's hit in the air down the left field line. It's hooking foul. Well out of play. The rain has subsided for the moment here at Christie Pitts. It wasn't supposed to rain in the forecast. We've been getting just a light mist.
Yeah.
Cool temperature in the air as well. Haven't had a lot of games like this. There's a swing and a miss. Strike three. Dustin Richardson comes all the way back from 3-0 and gets Dustin Richardson on strikes. And there's two away.
And there was some gas on that one, Thomas.
It's interesting when we were talking to Dustin a couple of games ago. He was talking about the way he was pitching last season versus the way he's pitching this season. He said last year he was sitting around mid-80s and he was pushing the ball because his shoulder was really sore. And a healthy Dustin Richardson, when he can get that arm fully extended and coming straight over the top, has a lot of gas behind it.
Well, like you could last postseason, I remember talking to him in my podcast I did with him in the offseason, and he said like he was grunting as he was throwing the baseball.
Yeah.
You don't see that often from a pitcher, obviously.
This time a breaking ball over the inside corner, 1-1.
Jackfish don't like that call. It's tough to blame them. That looked pretty low, but count even at 1-1.
We've got Chris Lazar, who's been all around the corners, but not getting the calls on the slow breaking balls. It's a fastball that's outside, 2-1.
Yeah, Lazar is one of those slop-throwing lefties who typically throws strikes, so he's having some control issues. And one thing about Lazar is he knows how to pitch. But I will say, in the defense of the Jackfish, I know that Mike Wagner, just from his time with Maple Leafs, he does live in Buffalo. You never know, maybe last second he just wasn't able to make it. So I'm sure they didn't try to deceive us on purpose. That's mind games here at Christie Pitts.
The 2-2. Just outside, 3-2. Mattingly Romanen came into this game 5 for 14 in the playoffs, but he had 5 hits and 7 runs. Whenever Mattingly Romanen gets on base, he scores.
It's a big moment here. You just can't ease in a fastball.
Another full count pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3. A swing and a miss from Romanen. Dustin Richardson strikes out a couple in the inning, and the Toronto Maple Leafs continue to lead 4-2. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. 4-2 Toronto Maple Leafs in the bottom of the third inning. Thomas West here alongside Ryan Eakin. Lazar out there for a third inning of work. The first pitch tomorrow is a slow breaking ball just inside, 1-0.
18 strikes, 16 balls. So now that we're talking about Lazar, not Wagner, Lazar is a guy that pounds the strike zone typically. But this is his first ever game at Christie Pitch. Never pitches at Christie Pitch. So that, again, makes me think that this was a last-minute thing. This was not by design, but nonetheless, a guy that can pound the zone on his best day.
Here's the ball hammered to right field. Justin Mara, no doubt about it. The third home run of the ball game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's 5-2.
There's some games on the broadcast, Thomas, and you and I are just clicking, and everything's correct. Everything we say is correct. You and I off the mic were talking before the game, saying, "Oh, it's pretty cold outside. That's not great for the batters." It was mostly me. I can't, shame you too much, but 3 home runs for the Maple Leafs in this game, 2 for the Jackfish.
Yeah, we thought the ball wasn't going to be flying out of the park today, just with the cool temperature. But when you put in a charge into the ball like the Toronto Maple Leafs bats have done this game, it'll go. It's not an extremely long fence, but that was certainly a no-doubter from Justin Mara.
And at least Sid hit some home runs off Lazar when he was with Hamilton earlier in the season. Damon Topley had one against him, so he's home run prone. And again, we talk about pitch at Christie Pitch for the first time. It's never easy. We saw it with Frank Garces last week, and now with Chris Lazar here tonight.
Jordan Castaldo, the batter, takes way low and outside. The pitch bounced 10 feet in front of home plate.
And we now see a righty up in that Jackfish bullpen, and to me that looks like Casey Howard, but I can't really tell the number, but just given the stature. We saw Casey Howard earlier in the season, Thomas. I think that's Howard up in the bullpen.
Castaldo fouls it off down the right field line. One and two, the count on Castaldo. It's up and in. Lazar's 2-2. And it hit him in the head.
I think he got just around his upper shoulder. No intent in the slightest. It was a breaking
ball, yeah.
That may not even picked up on a radar gun, so he'll take his free 90 feet. And that might do it for Chris Lazar. Maybe we see Mike Wagner in this game, Thomas. But no, it looks like Casey Howard's coming in. So Casey Howard yesterday, just before we do go to a break, he came in and faced one batter yesterday because they did want to go to Brett Lawson, but Lawson wasn't ready. So Howard came in, faced Benicio, allowed one hit, he came back out, and that's all she wrote for Chris Lazar.
Yeah, so you're correct. Here comes Casey Howard, and the Toronto Maple Leafs with a runner on and nobody out, leading 5-2 over the Welland Jackfish. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Well, bottom of the third inning, the Toronto Maple Leafs knocking on the door against the Welland Jackfish. Runner on first base, 5-2 lead. Last run coming on a solo home run by Justin Mara. Then immediately after that, Jordan Castaldo reaching first base on the hit by pitch. And here's Marcus Connect hit a 3-run home run in his last at-bat. And now he lines one up the middle. That'll get down for a base hit. Jordan Castaldo is going to keep on running because it gets away from the center fielder Nicholson. So first and third now for the Toronto Maple Leafs with nobody out.
That will be a base hit for Connects, and then he gets Castaldo to third base on a defensive mistake by the Morello out in center. And Connect continues his red-hot season and red-hot playoffs. He's ahead of Damon Toppling now, the team batting average for sure in the postseason.
Yeah, Morello out there in center, not Nicholson. Brandon Nicholson's the DH this afternoon.
It's a lot of speed for a DH, eh?
Yeah.
Damon Toppling, the Leafs DH, and Nicholson, the Jackfish DH. Massive opportunity here for Salazo to not open this game up, but extend the Leafs lead.
Toronto Maple Leafs are in a serious opportunity as this one's just outside. Not just to take a commanding lead in this game, but a 2-0 series lead is certainly nothing to bat an eye at, especially being what standings-wise would be a pretty heavy underdog, the Toronto Maple Leafs. But we know that this Maple Leafs lineup has some pitching, as this one's fouled off by John Salazo, and especially has some bats in the lineup that are all getting hot at the right time. They love to play in this ballpark as well. It's left-handed batters to pull the ball over the wall. John Salazo, another guy who's a dead pull hitter. The pitch is low and inside, 2-1. Hitters count now for John Salazo.
Now, Howard is a guy that can give innings. He's now in the backstage of his time in the IBL, although he's still in his early 30s. He's mostly a 1-2 inning guy, but he has the history of back to his Brantford days of being a starting pitcher.
They would love some length from Casey Howard. Salazo hits one in the air. This one's to right center field. It's gone! John Salazo gets his first home run in the playoffs, and it extends the lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's 8-2.
Man, Lamar's got these home runs. Connect Harrington. And the conductor says, I need a home run too. And he has now 8-2 Maple Leafs. The bats, Thomas, are red hot.
It seems impossible to get this lineup out right now.
And that happened last postseason too, right, Thomas? I mean, this offense, when they're doing what they can do, it is something special.
Do you want to know how many home runs the Maple Leafs had against the Baycats in that series?
First round, last round?
Yeah,
they had none.
0.
Yeah, I remember saying to my dad on my way home, I said, at least this won a playoff series. They'll hit you one home run.
Did not hit a home run. They've been doing it always, and against the Barrie Baycats, a bunch of tight games. They got runners in. They bunted guys over. And this time against the Welland Jackfish, they're using the power.
You have to. I mean, we know the Leafs can hit home runs. So what Damon Toppling wanted to see, and I guess now Takamatsu wanted to see regular season into the playoffs, was can you take a 2-1 game against Frank Garces? And they were able to. Or in that case, it was 4-3. You have to be the last team standing, be able to win in multiple different ways, and this team has.
And all of a sudden, the team that was tied for first place in the Intercounty Baseball League this season is struggling to put together a pitching performance in Game 2 of a series.
Yeah, listen, everyone knows that Jackfish, that offense is absolutely absurd. What they can do in terms of getting on base, professional at-bats, speed. Everyone knows that they might be the fastest team in the history of the IBL. In fact, I don't even think it's close.
Well, they had the most stolen bases.
That is true, yeah. And Nicholson broke the record for one player. But outside of Mendez, their closer, who is legit, and outside of their Game 1 guy in Jake Hartford, there's not a lot that keeps you up at night, right? There's the same thing with the Baycats.
Here's a slow tapper on the ground to third place. This is going to have to be a great play, and it gets away from the first baseman. There goes Connor Lewis coming into second. He slides in, And now with nobody out, the Maple Leafs have another runner on base, and this time in scoring position.
That would be a base hit and an error by the shortstop, James Schmeibert. And it brings up Dan Moore, who he needs to get in on the offense here. I mean, he's the only guy that's been struggling at the plate, but what an opportunity for him here because this game's all over.
And there's no question that Jake Harford was the ace of the Welland Jackfish and also one of the best starting pitchers in the Intercounty Baseball League this season. A 2.73 ERA in the regular season. Harford last night, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 10 hits, 8 runs, struck out just 3. Here's a ground ball. This one might get through. It does. Getting the wave home is Connor Lewis, and it gets away from Gianfranco Morello again. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are out in front 9-2.
The Jackfish right now, Thomas, are melting down defensively. They can't make a play right now. And Christie Faithful is all over them.
Whether or not, well, it will be scored an error because the runner, Dan Mara, does get into second base. By the way, a guy who needed a hit, Dan Mara, the only guy in the lineup that didn't have one last night, although he did have a couple of walks.
And he did hit a line drive to the first baseman that, it easily could have dropped for a base hit, but we got a 9-2 game. If you're the Leafs, just keep plugging because no lead is safe here at Christie Hillside.
Topley fouls it off. Well, we saw a 9-2 lead last night. The other way around, the Toronto Maple Leafs, no question, are wary of that. But they have their head down in this inning. They still have a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
No lead is safe in a ballpark that big down at Welland Stadium. There's no question that here at Christie Pitts, no lead is safe.
Topley, a high chopper. This one's to the shortstop. Smybert throws to first and gets Topley. Advancing to third base is Dan Mara, and there's one out.
We'll take that for Damon Topley. Yeah, you want to hit, but why not just advance Dan Mara 90 feet and bring up Craig Carrington, who hit a home run this inning, Thomas? Yes?
No, that was last inning. So the inning
Mara,
started off with
Justin
the home
Mara.
run by Justin Mara. Carrington will bat. Then on deck is Jose Vinicio, and then we will have gone around the order in the bottom of the third inning.
A bit surprised the defense is not coming in, although at this point you might just want to take it out. But
yeah,
I don't know. I still think you want to keep as many runs against because this game's not over.
Well, if the Welland Jackfish end up winning this game, it'll be because they had a big inning.
Yeah, it's not because the defense came in.
That's the way the Toronto Maple Leafs did it last night, and there needs to be some kind of a pitching breakdown. We talk about, we've heard the chant "No lead is safe," especially here at Christie Pitts on the Fenway Park of the Intercounty Baseball League. But the reason that you chant that is because the IPL isn't Major League pitching. You can have a breakdown. Sometimes it's hard to get to those back of the game kind of guys.
Yes, that's the biggest thing. It's not the back of the end guys that cause the issues. It's the guys who get you to that point.
It just wanted season, or a big part of it, has obviously been the hitting, and they've got some good and Dylan Jacober and guys who are able to push the gap to the late inning guys. Dustin Richardson, he used to be a late inning guy. Chris McGee, Franklin Hernandez. Those are the guys the Maple Leafs want to get the ball to late in the game.
100% defense is seen now come in on 2 strikes.
0-2. Breaking ball is just outside. 1-2 on Greg Carrington. Hit a home run in his last at bat. It was breaking ball. He was out in front, but was able to keep the barrel of the bat flat and just keep it inside the foul pole down the right field line. 1-2. This one's popped up on the infield. Smybert goes back, and he makes the catch. Holding at third base is Dan Mara. There's 2 away.
I know it's 9-2, but with the guy on third base, less than 2 outs, you still like to bring him in and just keep extending this lead. Vinicio. Now he's a massive 5 hits for his first hit in this game today.
5 for 7. Loves to swing the bat.
And he got on in a bunch of different, abilities, right? I mean, home run, bunt base hit to the first baseman. He did it all for the Maple Leafs a game ago.
If Jose Vinicio proved to be a power hitter, there's not a lot that he can't do in the Intercounty Baseball League.
He'd be Justin Gideon.
Yeah. Justin Gideon, but plays shortstop.
Yeah, it's a bit more of an important position. Yes.
Yeah. 0-1 to Vinicio. Casey Howard delivers low and in the dirt, 1-1.
And if you're the Jackfish, just try to get this last out. Keep it 9-2. Dustin Richardson, he's been not pitchy for, I would say, perhaps upwards of 25 minutes, Thomas. So, opportunity perhaps to get some runs back.
The 1-1. This one's lifted in the air. This one's down the right field line, and it's just foul, inches away from being another RBI. Jose Vinicio. Counts 1-2. Justin Mara graciously coming all the way from the on-deck circle to the bat back to the leadoff hitter for the Toronto. Jose Vinicio, 9 for 20 so far in the playoffs. A home run, 3 RBIs as a leadoff hitter.
Lots of space up the middle.
Vinicio hits the ground. This one is going to be snagged by Dupuis. Throw to first in time. What a play by the second baseman, Tyler Dupuis. And he will save his team a run, but it's a big inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They score 5 in the third and haven't been shut down in a single inning yet in this game. They lead 9-2 over the Welland Jackfish. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Sam Walker leading things off. And Jackfish trailing the Toronto Maple Leafs 9-2. Dustin Richardson in his 4th inning of work.
Nice pitch.
Slow breaking ball, 1-1.
The back of his jersey is a bit dirty from having to go down on that bunt that forced Alonso to make a play.
Low, 2-1.
And the biggest thing to avoid collapsing a 9-2 lead is to throw strikes, right? Like, you don't want to have guys come on base if you have base on balls and what have you. Just keep pounding the strike zone and hope that your defense can make the plays behind you.
Lazy fly ball in the air to center field. Coming in is Connor Lewis. He makes the catch, 1 away.
You can tell Vinicio was, I think, thinking the same thing as me on that one. I thought that was not, I thought he was going to drop, but Lewis had it the entire time. He never really rushed to come in. And a quick first out for Dustin Richardson.
Dustin Richardson is throwing 32 strikes, 18 balls.
And again, in this case, you missed the top of the broadcast. It's not really a pitch count for game. It's not going to be 100, 110, 80, 90. It's going to be how's the back, how's the arm, and just really go from that point.
It's interesting about the comment you make about throwing strikes because, I mean, for both teams, the Toronto Maple Leafs had 21 hits yesterday.
Yeah.
And they were only walked 3 or 4 times.
Yep.
The Maple Leafs gave up 10 runs on 14 hits, and the entire pitching staff only walked 1 batter.
Yeah.
And you start putting guys on base that aren't there by the means of a base hit, and you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble in the run department. And we saw Toronto Maple Leafs games this season where they would give up, 10, 9, 8 walks. And we saw it on the other side of things as well. And that's where things really got out of the hand, where you saw the, 14-4 games and the game where they scored 18 runs.
Yeah. A lot of the games against the Panthers brought out the versus the Maple Leafs. But the game that I always remember is when I was with the Baycats last season, and the Baycats were up 19-3. They were celebrating. It was the greatest night of their lives. And then it came 19-18 because their bullpen could not throw a strike. So just in that game alone, I always keep thinking, man, you have to throw strikes for Chrissy Pitts, especially.
High chopper to first base. That one's going to stay fair. Costello runs over, and he's safe at first. And that is the blazing speed of the Welland Jackfish in full effect. That'll go as a...
I think you have to give that a hit. Like, what can you do?
It's a rather fortunate infield hit.
There's really nothing you can do, and it brings up Tyler Dupree, who the ball on the ground is not going to turn 2, and unless it's hit absolutely smoked. And he may look to have a big inning here by simply getting on base via a bunt.
James Smybert running down the first baseline, and he doesn't have the blazing speed that some of his teammates do, but he has stolen base in the playoffs, had 4 stolen bases in the regular season.
One of the reasons he doesn't steal a lot of bases is because he led the league in doubles last season, or this past season. So when you do something like that, you're not going to be taking a lot of swipes.
26 extra base hits. Here's one hit in the air. This could be an extra base hit as well, and it is gone. Tyler Dupuis, first home run of the playoffs and the season. And it's now 9-4.
This ball game is not over. And the one thing you always want to do as Dylan Jacober's up in that Maple Leafs bullpen is once you start getting some runs and you have a big inning, don't allow any runs the next half. Have that shutdown inning. And the Jackfish, they know this game's not over.
So Mateo Porcelato comes up. This is really an oddity from Dustin Richardson, although that one was a little bit of a wall scraper to left field.
It might be a double in most ballparks,
But Tyler Dupuis didn't have any home runs in the regular season, and that is a big one here in Game 2. The Welland Jackfish really need to win this game, you'd have to imagine.
Yeah, it's a best of 5 still, so you go down 2-0 to 7. That's a lot different than going down a best of 5. And their best is yet to come in this game. This is going to take a full team effort for the Maple Leafs. You might only get 4 innings from Dustin Richardson, so I think you see Jacober in the 5th. So this game is not over.
I mean, this is a little bit of a different series than the one we saw with Guelph and Hamilton. It's kind of a similar thing. The Hamilton Cardinals won the first 2 games. The Guelph Royals, they thought, well, we're just the better team, which they were. And they came back and won the next 2 games, and then they just came up 1 game short. But you point to those first 2 games that they could have eked out a win. Daniel Fields, it throws on to first in time, 2 away.
Yeah, but their issue in that game, I mean, everyone's talking about it. They pitched Claudio in that pennant game, in a game that really didn't mean much, right? You don't want to win the pennant. It's great for the franchise and all that. But when you lose that game with Claudio, what does that mean? It means he's not pitching Game 3 until Game 3 of the first round, and Hamilton took full advantage. And that was quite, in hindsight, obviously a massive mistake. But that's even something I was talking about to Dustin last week. I'm like, man, they started Claudio in a game that if they lose that game, you're in trouble against Hamilton. I kept saying on the broadcast in Hamilton's last game, I said, they might be all those bottom feeders that might be able to do something. And boy, did they ever.
Big swing and a miss, strike 2. I almost wonder if that's some of what factored into that decision to pitch Claudio Custodio in the tiebreaker was underestimating your first-round opponent.
Yeah. I think it was well thought we were going to beat Hamilton. That's just a reality of that. There's no question.
Over the outside corner, strike 3 called, but the Welland Jackfish get a couple of runs back, and the Toronto Maple Leafs now leading by just 5. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The bats for the Toronto Maple Leafs coming up. They have in any inning yet. This is Toronto Maple Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Dominico Field. A cloudy afternoon. Justin Mara leading things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 9-4 lead. 2 runs in the top half of the fourth inning. That came on a 2-run home run by Tyler Dupuis, one of the last guys in the lineup you'd think that would beat you with the long ball, but he got into one.
This guy, and hey, the Jackfish got a couple of runs after a 5-run inning for the Maple Leafs. The Leafs now need to get at least 1 run back just to keep up in that lead because this game's not over.
Yeah, how about that? 7 home runs today that we've seen combined between these two teams, and we're just with nobody out in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Yeah, this game, it's a bit of a breeze now. It's cold. It's interesting. It really is interesting that we haven't had this many home runs given the weather.
1-1. Pitches to the backstop, 2-1. To be fair, the wind is helping out those batters. It's going out towards center field.
But I would say outside the Tyler Dupuis home run, these balls have all been.
Yeah, they've been home runs for sure. Marcus Connect hit one dead center. That banged off the clubhouse in center field. 2-1 from Casey Howard. That one's fouled straight back 2-2.
And nobody's up in that Jackfish bullpen. I think this might be Howard's game, quite frankly. I mean, they do have Brett Lawson, the ex-Maple Leaf, but this might be Howard's game. Chris Bowado threw a lot of pitches yesterday.
Mara hits one in the air. This one's to left field and very much playable. That goes the left fielder. He makes the catch. That's Hogan Brown out there in left. There's 1 away. Jordan Castaldo had a little blooping line drive single to right field in his last at-bat. Ended up reaching second base on a throwing error by Justin Gideon. One away, Toronto Maple Leafs leading 9-4 over the Welland Jackfish. First pitch is outside.
And nobody's up in that Leafs bullpen. I'd like to get one last inning from Richardson, get through 5, and then you have Fernandez in the back end of the bullpen. Perhaps he is throwing right now, although he's not coming in anytime soon.
You can look at this on the other side of the picture for the Toronto Maple Leafs, where they had a 9-2 lead. They would think that they have to win this game.
Yeah, you can't blow a 9-2 lead, right? That's just the way it is. You just can't let the Jackfish back in this series heading back there. I mean, if you lose this game at the beginning, it's okay, whatever, but you can't blow a 9-2 lead.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the ones that you would look back on.
Oh, 100%.
And we were talking off air as well. There's a lot more runs left in this game. You'd have to imagine. It's one of those games where it seems like it doesn't even matter who's coming in. The ball is flying. The bats are hot on both sides. 2-1 to Jordan Castaldo. Way inside, 3-1.
One thing you just need is some runs, right? Jackfish, if you can get both runs back, I mean, that's also amazing. But even just 1 run get into 10 run, just keep adding to that lead and force the Jackfish to have that big inning and don't allow a 2-run inning to get them back in this game.
3-1 to Castaldo. This one's hit in the air. Very high in the air to left field. It sends Hogan Brown right to the wall. He makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
He totally just missed that, but he may have broken his bat. Looks like he's in one piece, but average is doing right now what the Jackfish need out of their bullpen.
Yeah, I don't think it broke the bat of Jordan Castaldo. That was eerily close to going out of the ballpark.
Yeah. Well, if he got just a bit more of that, that's gone. Instead, it's a couple lazy fly balls, 2 left.
Marcus Connect is 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs already in this game. Home run in his first at-bat. Hard line drive single to center field. Connect fouls it off. Marcus Connect with a hit would bring his batting average over 600 in the playoffs. Connect hammers one deep to left field, and it is gone.
Wow.
Marcus Connect, a frozen rope to left field, his second home run of the game, and the Leafs lead 10-4.
At what point do you just say 2 out, nobody on base? I know Salaz's behind him. Salaz is an absolute monster himself, conductor, but at what point do you just not pitch a Connect? Like Barry Bonstrom, you can't get this guy out right now, and that's 3 home runs in his last 2 games. And yeah, in the game before that, he didn't hit a home run, but instead he decided to end the series with a base hit. He is in one right now for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, Marcus Connect has something going. The swing mechanics are just right on point, and he's also getting some pitchers, which he seems to match up with very, very well.
Yeah.
That was one of the hardest hit home runs we've seen. That
The time it took to get the ball out of the ballpark, I think it might be the fastest. Outside of maybe his first home run of the season, he missed the game. It was his first home run of the season against the Panthers, and that ball, I've never seen a ball hit as far as that one and as hard as that one. So the only competition might be another one being hit this season.
And that was before Marcus Connect really found his groove this season.
So he was just easing himself in.
So that'll do for 600 batting average in the playoffs as well.
Damon's slipping right now.
Oh yeah,
563. I was pumping his tires while he's leading the team in batting average.
Well, let's see. Damon Topley has, here's a ball lined out to left field. That one's up against the wall, and it's going to be a single. That ball was hit so hard by John Salazzo. It goes as a 2-out single off the wall in the gap. Brings up Connor Lewis. I would throw a vote in for an unsung hero this season as well, having to come in, play way more, and he's an everyday player now, and he's not even the Maple Leafs coach anymore.
No, he's Gary Takamatsu is the skip of the team. No, David only listed. There's no question what he's done for the team really since Grant Tamani went down with his injury, and a few others. Adam Katz went back to school, Boss Reno went back to school, but Damon's playing tax manager.
Here's a line shot, diving stop at third, throw to second in time. What a play by Mattingly Romanen at third base, and he will get the Welland Jackfish out of the inning, but they do give up one more run. It was a frozen rope home run from Marcus Connect, and the Toronto Maple Leafs lead the Welland Jackfish 10-4. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Welcome back to Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. That pitch hits the batter at the plate, Dustin Richardson, still on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And we saw last inning, he allowed a bloop hit, quite frankly, and led to a 2-run home run. Now he allows a breaking pitch to get away from him and lead to a leadoff base runner, and that is the guy with a ton of speed.
Yeah.
Brandon Nicholson, first base, excuse me. Mind you, I don't think he's going to be taking off. I mean, it's 10-4. I'm not sure if you want to run into outlets, but at the same time, you kind of just have to keep playing your baseball if you're the Jackfish.
Getting hit in the foot doesn't help your speed either. But Nicholson's so fast.
He's still in the base, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a guarantee. We'll see if he can get a good jump. It doesn't help that Dustin Richardson is a lefty, so he's looking right at him. Richardson fakes or throws one over to first base.
And this is now the third time through the lineup for the Jackfish, so if they do have a big inning, he might come right now against Dustin Richardson for the third time through.
Pitch is just outside. Counts 2-0. Leadoff guy, Gianfranco Morello.
If Morello gets on base with Gideon, and Gideon can hit one out, we got 10-7 game. Obviously, a lot has to happen before that to happen, but
this one's hit in the air, center field. Back goes Connor. That one is gone. Gianfranco Morello, a 2-run home run. And it is now 10-6.
And I think that might do it for Richardson. This is all of his runs have come from the long ball. He hasn't gotten himself in trouble in terms of a bunch of base runners. It's been nothing but solo bombs and 2-run shots, but this is quite something.
And the fact that the Welland Jackfish are doing this against Dustin Richardson, I mean, this is an off day for Dustin Richardson, no question about it. But
and it's unfortunate too because they gave him such a big lead.
Big swing and a miss on the first pitch. You can tell Richardson, he still has some good stuff. It's just you can't make mistakes to the Welland Jackfish lineup.
That was lefty on lefty crime in that one, and we have a ball game here at Christie Pitts.
Pitch up and in, 1-1.
So if you can get 5 through Richardson, which is not a lock, you'd be looking at 6-7 from Jacober, 8 from Nagorski, and perhaps 9th inning from Hernandez. But a lot has to happen for that to both the way the Maple Leafs want it to.
Dustin Richardson really needs to get out of this.
Yeah, you gotta get through 5. He pitched 4 innings last time against the Baycats, but the Baycats' offense was lifeless and was never really in doubt.
Another one hit to center field pretty well. Back goes Connor Lewis to the wall. It's gone. Back-to-back home runs to dead center field for the Welland Jackfish. This time it was Justin Gideon, and it is 10-7.
I think Tack is thinking about it, and he's going to pull him.
Garrett Takamatsu coming to the mound. Dylan Jacober is loose in the Toronto Maple Leafs bullpen. We won't leave you just yet because Dustin Richardson may talk his way back into this game.
Yeah, he's just not fooling anyone third time through.
A high fastball in his last at bat. Justin Gideon comes right back and hits a home run to dead center field. And the ball is really tearing out of the ballpark today. And Dustin Richardson did just talk himself back into this game.
You're right about that one, but I know he's not fooling anyone. Not only that, but the Jackfish are going dead center. But at the same time, it's only a 3-run game. Can you really go to the bullpen right now? I don't know the answer to that.
Well, those are dead center field and certainly deserving of a home run.
Well,
but that wind is blowing straight to center field. And we've seen how strong the wind is on the broadcast. We've had a couple updates as well. And it is helping both teams right now. High chopper for Jose Venicio. He drops it at shortstop. It was a tough hop, but it might go as an error. And that's another runner on. And now Dustin Richardson is facing some serious adversity in the top of the 5th inning.
This is a stunner, and it brings up Cocker, who has had himself a series right now for the Jackfish.
Pitches down and in. Can Dustin Richardson get out of this and give his team a chance?
Who has a home run here? It is a wonder game. And, Cocker's hit once. You have a ball game here at Christie Pitts.
1-0. Breaking ball there for a strike. That's the one pitch that the Welland Jackfish have not hit out of the ballpark yet. It's been the breaking ball. It's been good from Dustin Richardson, but he spent his entire career trusting that 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah.
The Jackfish have been able to catch up to it this afternoon.
Leafs just hoping to get through 5 innings. And what this game also now does is 10-7 before the 5th inning. That allows the Jackfish to play their baseball again, right? They can steal bases and bunt. They got lots of outs to play with.
Richardson hooks in. The 1-2. Just outside. He went with the fastball. That's 2-2. Dustin Richardson now starting to get the breaking ball a lot more third time through the order.
Richardson has only walked the one guy, 7 hits on really goes to show. But he's not hits. It is vicious contacts.
Breaking ball, check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't, says the first base umpire. Full count now. Sam Cocker, 5 home runs in the regular season. Would love his first of the playoffs right here, but also keeping the line moving for guys like James Smybert and Tyler Dupuis right behind him isn't too bad as well. A throw over to first base, just checking on the runner. Mattingly Romanen. Connor Lewis playing Sam Cocker to pull in center field. Breaking ball, Dustin Richardson goes down on the mound, and he is in some serious pain.
And it might be his back that gave out on him, but
now you have to take him out if you're Damon or if you're Garrett Takamatsu.
Wow, trying to run at the plate.
That's never a sign. The pitch was obviously right in his delivery.
And he's not really holding his arm. So almost hope it's just his back. He does have back issues. I'm not going to. It's tough to tell, quite frankly. In the tax, you can see he's blocking this angle, but
he's holding his shoulder.
There's no questioning the injury history of Dustin Richardson.
I think he's trying to talk his way into the keep pitch.
He's going to come out, though. I mean, that would be almost a Damon Topley thing as GM of the team still. He is going to come out.
So Dustin Richardson will exit this game with an extremely concerning potential injury for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And now it's the young Dylan Jacober who's going to be tasked with the tying run being at the plate in the top of the 5th inning. 10-7 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Welland Jackfish. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Dylan Jacober coming into the game. And man, is this ever a task for the young guy on the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Schmeibert has a ton of power facing the right pitcher.
Smarbert takes low and in the dirt for ball one. When Dylan Jacober can find the strike zone and locate over the corners, he's extremely effective. Control has been a slight issue at times.
Yes.
1-0. Swing and a miss by Smybert, 1-1.
And the Leafs might be looking for the 5th, 6th, 7th inning from Jacober, 8th inning Nagorski, 9th inning Hernandez, perhaps the 6th out save again from Hernandez. There's no question Jacober has to eat some innings here for the Maple Leafs. In the game, it comes down to the bullpens. I'm not going to predict the end result of this game given that fact.
Smybert squaring to bunt, and that must have been a bunt for a base hit. A couple times they've tried to test the defense of John Salazzo down at third.
Schmeibert has plus speed and then some out of the batter's box. But Schmeibert can also tie the game with one swing given his power.
1 for 2 today. 6 for 17 in the playoffs. Squaring to bunt once again. He gets it down. It's right back to the mound. Jacober's going to throw to second for 1. Venetia whips it to first.
Wow.
Double play. A huge double play started by Dylan Jacober. And now there's 2 away with a runner on third base for the Welland Jackfish.
So with Jacober, he did play some third base in collegiate baseball. So he is a guy who has some experience in terms of fielding the position. And you see it on that play because that was a nasty play by him. He was not at any point panics. And he turned the double play. I thought he was going to go to third base, but he goes to second and does a double play.
I'm just trying to think about that play in my head. You have one of the best hitters in the Inter-County Baseball League in a game where we're getting close to being, I'll bet you there's 10 home runs hit in this baseball game. The ball is being hit everywhere. You have a young pitcher on the mound, and you bunt one right back to the mound, and it's a double play.
Awful bunt. Horrendous bunt.
And you're down by 3 runs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally against bunting and forcing the defense to make a play, but that has to be a way better bunt, to say the least, from Jim Schmeibert.
Pitch is over the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. And now this is a massive hole here for Taylor Dupuis. You'd almost think he has to get one of these runs in just to keep the momentum going.
And knowing this game, he can easily hit one out himself.
Swinging a foul off right home plate. Big cut by Dupuis. Dylan Jacober 1 strike away from stranding those runners inherited by Dustin Richardson.
I want to say high fastball, but the fastball's been being crushed by both teams all game.
It's a breaking ball. It's looped into the outfield, jumping and making the catch. Second base, and the Toronto Maple Leafs get out of the inning. Dylan Jacober needs just 7 pitches, inheriting 2 runners on, and he'll definitely get a big handshake from Dustin Richardson on the way back to the dugout. 10-7 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They limit the damage in the inning despite the 2 home runs, capped off by Justin Gideon to dead center field. 10-7 Maple Leafs for the Welland Jackfish. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. So the guy who got the Toronto Maple Leafs out of the inning with that great catch at second base, Dan Mara, he's going to lead things off. Casey Howard back on the mound for the Welland Jackfish.
And the Leafs, they need some runs. They have had a run each inning. Yet right now, still not enough. Given this game, who knows how it ends? It might take 20.
Sure.
It might take 20.
Mara takes a fastball over the outside corner. It's a strike, 1-1.
And Mendes up in the bullpen for the Jackfish. That is not a guy you want to see if you're the Maple Leafs, because he really has no business being in this league. He's throwing 9-7. No one in this league has ever thrown a fastball the way he has. He's nasty.
Mara loops one into the outfield, and that one's going to carry and get over the head of Justin Gideon. Oh, here's a strong throw to second base, not in time. Dan Mara slides in safely, and Mara all of a sudden has a couple hits in this game after getting off to a slow start in the playoffs. But the Maple Leafs are knocking at the door once again, lead 10-7 over the Welland Jackfish.
So Mendes has pitched one inning in all of the games he's ever played in, except for one. He pitched 3. I wonder if he's just let him loose in this game. If he's
playoffs.
Yeah. And if, the thing with him is he comes in, he's not allowed any runs. So he comes in. I mean, the Leafs are likely going to be stopped at 10 runs, whatever it may end up being if he comes in.
So just to emphasize that point, Mendes has given up 1 hit this season.
13 innings, 23 strikeouts, and 4 walks. And it might be Mendes' time right now, and it is. Wow. And how far can he go is going to be the biggest thing here, but this is interesting.
You guys did a good job yesterday's game.
Davey Mendes is going to come into this ball game, and we'll have more on that. On Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Back here at Dominico Field, Toronto Maple Leafs have a runner on second base, but the Welland Jackfish are adamantly trying to hold that runner in Dan Mara right there. Davey Mendes comes into the game, 13 innings pitched, 1 hit, 23 strikeouts.
He's the best pitcher in the league.
Topley squaring to bunt, and he bunts one way up and foul. There's the fastball from Mendes.
I would not be biting this baseball just simply because there's 1 out guy on third base. Mendes has massive strikeout numbers. Just like that, it's 2 out, you need to hit an ratio. So I just give my offense as many opportunities as I can to get a hit off this guy.
I don't think Damon thinks that with this righty-righty matchup, he's going to get a bat on the ball. Pitch goes to the backstop. Dan Mara is going to go to third base, and now Damon Topley will likely not be punting.
Well, you never know. Second baseman playing back, first baseman playing back, plus speed at third base. You have to get this run in, but at the same time, Mendes has that ability to simply strike out the side.
Yeah, Sam Cocker came back, and I think they got their signals crossed up there.
That's all that was.
So 1-1 count on Topley. The only knock, if you were ever to have a knock on Mendes, was that he walked 4 batters. the regular season.
Outrageous.
Todd swings and misses, and he was way behind it.
See, I think you have to sit fastball on this guy because you're not going to hit his off speed. But his fastball. Some say around the league he's 96, 97, 98. Like he was pitching in Mexico this season. This is not a guy you see in this league.
1-2 to Toppoli. Swing and a miss, strike three. Mendez just blew a fastball by him.
If I'm Carrington, I'm thinking potentially laying down a bunt here if you can. To run in. It should be interesting. This can go in this game. Again, he's typically been a one-inning guy. Has had 3 innings against the Panthers, so I can take him to the 7th inning if he can do that in this game. And who knows? They might just let him ride. Keep the Jackfish in this game.
Carrington hits it in the air. That one's going to go out of play foul, but he was right on that one.
Yeah. Christy Pitts.
Sure.
Yep.
0-1. This one's hit in the air to center field, and it's pretty well. It brings Morello back to the wall. This will easily cash in the runner in Dan Mara. That ball was smoked to center field. It'll go as a sacrifice fly, and it's 11-7 Toronto Maple Leafs.
We'll take that by Greg Carrington. Job well done.
I think Greg Carrington might be kicking himself because if he caught just a little bit more, that would have been a dead center field home run.
Which perhaps would have lifted the empty roof that there really isn't here at Christie Pitch. There's no roof, obviously, but if there was a roof, perhaps it would have erupted them. And not many guys have hit a home run. No one has hit a home run tremendous here in the IBL.
One player this season has got a hit off him. One player. Benicio fouls it off. This was an interesting matchup.
Yep, Benicio's. He's seen guys like Mendes his time in the minors. I mean, Benicio made it all the way up to AAA. Manning playing in at third base.
The one from Mendez. Benicio hits it into the outfield, coming over and making a running catch, nearly hit number 2 on the season. But Hogan Brown said no in the outfield. The Toronto Maple Leafs tack on one more lead, 11-7 over the Welland Jackfish, but this is still very much a game. We head to the top of the next Toronto Maple Leafs. Up by 4. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Back here at Christie Pitts, Dominico Field, Dylan Jacober back on the mound. Coming in for his second inning of work, relieved Dustin Richardson.
Mendez, he's coming out for the 7th inning, so that's going to be 2 innings from him. Something he's only done once this season because there's nobody up in that Jackfish bullpen.
Big swing and a miss by Porcelato. Just coming into this game, 2 home runs in the playoffs for Mateo Porcelato in just 14 at-bats. Over the inside corner, strike 3 called on the breaking ball from Dylan Jacober, and there's 1 away. Hogan Brown is 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts. The top 7 batters in the Welland Jackfish lineup have all reached base via a hit and scored on the hit. Porcelato and Hogan Brown, the only 2 that have not collected a hit today.
This bullpen is empty. Trying to definitely get a second inning here from Dylan Jacober.
Jacober frustrated with himself after that pitch was outside for 2-0. Brown squaring to bunt takes low, 3-0.
I don't think he's getting a green light here 3-0, so you don't want to ease in a fastball because you never quite know, but this is a fastball count, I think, for Jacober in this pitch. Top of that Jackfish lineup is coming up after Nicholson.
Right down the middle for a strike. Taking all the way was Hogan Brown.
And at least they have to treat this as a one-run ball game because you simply don't know if you're going to be getting any more runs in this game off of Mendez.
Another one in there for a strike. And after it was 3-0, Dylan Jacober has worked it back to a full count.
I'd like to see a 3-2 sinker and see what happens. Get a ball on the ground.
3-2, way outside. Ball 4. Hogan Brown heads down to first base with 1 out. And here Nicholson. We've seen the bunt being pulled back a lot in this game. That might be another situation here for Nicholson.
Want to get on base? Absolutely. If he gets on base, oh boy, because it brings up Morello and then perhaps he can get a level of the guys behind him. And we know what Morello can do in this game in the ballpark in all season. This is the one issue with Jacober. He is walk happy and he's throwing 10 strikes by 8 balls in this game. That's one way to team back in the game.
The decision to bring Diego Mendez into this game by the Welland Jackfish is an interesting one to me because it tells me that the Welland Jackfish are dead set on trying to win this baseball game. They are all in no matter what.
And they should be because they think they can get 4 runs to at least tie this game, and Mendez probably isn't allowed to run.
Pitches in the dirt. It's not like the Toronto Maple Leafs don't have some, let's call it secret weapons of their own coming into the bullpen. Franklin Hernandez would probably be that guy.
He'll be an option just given the way this game's gone.
But they will have to bring some guys out that have slightly inflated ERAs. There's no question about it.
And Jacober right now, he's just got to find the strike zone. Still falling behind 3-0 to the last 2 bats now. And trouble is on deck, given Gio Morello has gone deep in his last at-bat.
That one's a strike. Remember, Nicholson still has not recorded a hit in the playoffs. This needs to be a fastball for a strike.
You know he's not going to bunt.
He quick pitched him, and this one's hit on the ground. John Salazzo goes to second for 1. Quick turn to first, double play. Dylan Jacober gets the Welland Jackfish to ground into another double play.
Nobody knew, but I think Thomas that the inning was over.
So the Maple Leafs and Dylan Jacober will walk off the mound, and they will strand the big bats of Morello and Gideon looming on deck. 11-7, the Toronto Maple Leafs lead the Welland Jackfish. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. This is Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. What a job by Dylan Jacober in the top half of the inning. Toronto Maple Leafs still leading by 4, 11-7 over the Welland Jackfish. If you're just tuning in, Davey Mendez came into the game and didn't allow a run of his own, but a run from second base did come in for the Maple Leafs. It made it 11-7. And Mendez, he's really a phenomenon in the Inter-County Baseball League. High 90s pitcher.
The only question is, how long can he go? Can he get back to that bullpen and perhaps get to a guy like Bovado? Not that Bovado is exactly automatic either, but yeah, this is it really just depends. I mean, you don't know up here in the broadcast. I don't think they went down and asked, hey, how many innings is Mendez going to pitch? I don't think they'll get an answer. So I
think how long can Mendez go is a question that the coaching staff for the Welland Jackfish are answering right now.
And the biggest thing that they'll be looking at is his command. There's this, I'm not going to say concern, look at his stats, but if there's one tiny bit of, maybe even an issue, might be an issue, is that in the past, prior to the time in the IBL, he's had some control issues as the game goes on.
Right.
He has not shown that in the IBL in the slightest.
He also hasn't pitched more than an inning.
Yes. He did once.
2-1. Hammered down the right field line. Oh, Justin Morrow was way in front of that one.
You see Mendez put his hands on his head. He thought someone was about to smoke, but heads up on the hill. Everyone knows that. Everyone's fine. Mendez perhaps a high fastball here. Although with his fastball, he can stick it right down the plate.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Justin Mara go down on a high fastball. Just an update on that ball. The reason they were all looking for it there was that there's a little girl down the line, and the ball did not hit her.
Okay.
And she got removed from that area and was running around and didn't even know anything happened. So all good on the hill. Breaking ball is inside.
Dustin Richardson walking down to Leafs bullpen. He looks like he's okay. I don't think that was anything perhaps as bad as it looked, but
he's assumed his coaching role already.
Yes, but he loves it.
Yeah. Castaldo takes high. I think Jordan Castaldo sees this as a challenge. Well, going off against Davey Mendez, trying to get himself on base. Only one other guy this season has been able to do it, at least to be a hit. He's got a 2-0 count now. Led the Inter-County Baseball League in walks this season. 2-0. Castaldo fouls it off. Jordan Castaldo wasn't trying to take the walk there. Rather lackluster effort out there on the hillside.
Pretty pathetic
from the Bushmen. Yeah, come on, guys. We're always pumping their tires.
I'm afraid about them back in their place. That was brutal. That's the baseball.
Don't post this on Twitter.
You don't want to feel the wrath of those guys.
No. I don't think they have any.
Here's
the ball hammered. Left field to the wall. It's gone. The second hit of the season off Davey Mendez comes from Jordan Castaldo. He goes the other way, and the Toronto Maple Leafs lead 12-7, and that is a bad one for Jordan Castaldo.
I'm going to say it now because the Baycats have done, Frank Garces has done. I remember taking Castaldo prior to the beginning of the season. He said, man, I want to face Garces. I want to face best on best. I don't want to face, some guy that's pitched at me at D3 and he throws 82. I want best on best. What you just witnessed is best on best. The best pitcher in the league. And it ends with Castaldo going to opposite field. And in my 10 years in the IBL, there's not another guy that can pull that ball opposite field better than Jordan Castaldo can.
Jordan Castaldo hasn't swung at a baseball that hard since he's been injured.
Oh, don't forget, he also still is injured, right? This is not a guy playing even close to 100%. Yeah, he came into this batting 388 in the playoffs and is 2 for 3 in this game with a home run.
Marcus Connect was still looking down at the plate when that pitch was thrown. It there for strike 1. Now he's going to put his hand up to make sure the umpire knows that he's not ready yet. 0-1. Connect swings and misses, and make more of this than it really has to be, but that was the product of Mendez just pitching faster than Marcus Connect was ready for. He got him out of his rhythm.
Yeah, I was talking to Nagorski about Mendez, and he said, yeah, he's.
There we go.
he's something
Mendez
special.
coming right into it again. It's low and away.
And Nagorski's been in this league since 2008. I want to say with the Oshawa Dodgers, who also now don't exist. And he says Mendez is something special. And you can see, I mean, you don't need to have a trained eye to see the fact that he's throwing the ball with higher velocity than most guys in this league, to say the least.
This time, Marcus Connect gets into his stance a little earlier. The 1-2. Connect hammers one. This one's high and deep to center field. How about back-to-back? Marcus Connect, the hat trick. His third home run of the ball game, and the Maple Leafs lead 13-7.
I think that baseball is the furthest hit baseball I've ever seen here at Chrissy Pitch.
Yeah.
That was almost the middle of, it was almost on the umpire side of the clubhouse. Marcus Connect is unstoppable.
And you know what? It looked like he had that one timed up from before the pitch was thrown. He was getting into his stance too late on the first two. He knew the fastball was coming and then got himself set a little bit earlier and timed it up perfectly.
I said it last time. I'm not facing this guy. I'm telling him, here's this full outbury ball treatment at this point.
Yeah.
You cannot get Marcus Connect out. And you see, I believe that's Brett Lawson.
Who else is going to get him out if it's not Mendez?
It's not going to be me. I'm not pitching to Marcus Connect.
I was looking at you because I was talking to you. I wasn't calling on you.
I'll do play-by-play maybe. I'm not pitching. I'll do Marcus Connect.
Every time we hop on the call, we give up a lot of hits, really.
I mean, I'd have to face a lot of batters before I get an out in this ballpark.
Yeah.
Maybe a line drive out, right?
Yeah,
So
the only
obviously
reason we don't get pulled in the third inning is because we don't have a coach.
Yeah, well, for the YouTube comments to the coaches, really. Think about that, right?
We don't read them. We
don't. Shout out Matt saying best commentary team in the IBL. There is no conflict of interest in that statement. None.
Thanks, Matt.
He's not doing point streak today for us.
3-0 now to John Salazzo. In there for a strike.
That is indeed Brett Lawson, the ex-Maple Leaf. He pitched yesterday's game, and he had a clean inning. It was like, wow, Brett Lawson, that's pretty impressive. But then the next inning, he allowed 2 base runners and came out for Chris Bellotto, and the Leafs broke that game wide open.
3-1 to Salazzo. On the ground, broke his bat. Jogging space is poor Salazzo, and there's no way.
The bullhorn from the buddies down the third baseline. That's a nice touch of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's nice.
Shout out to the Mars mom supplying the horn for them.
Oh, I saw that on Twitter. Yeah.
It's a team effort.
This one's fouled straight back by.
That was
it. Score. That's in the commentary box.
I'm saying it right now. Roger made a one-handed catch. Lock of the century.
No, he didn't. I saw it fall.
There it goes. It's falling back down the hillside.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Control really hasn't been the issue for Mendez. Just allowing hard contact in this game, although everyone is.
Both teams have hit back-to-back home runs in this game. But the Toronto Maple Leafs hit them against the most unlikely of suspects. That time, a breaking ball, and it froze Connor Lewis. But the Toronto Maple Leafs tack on a couple more runs and now lead 13-7 over the Welland Jackfish. Dylan Jacober coming back on the mound. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Back here at Dominico Field, the Toronto Maple Leafs turning back to Dylan Jacober, who's been able to get Justin Richardson out of a jam and then get himself out of a jam in the last inning.
And this is Jacober's biggest inning because it's 1, 2, 3.
Morello, the batter. That one's in the dirt, goes to the backstop.
If you can get him through the 7th inning, you can look at Nagorski in the 8th, although Nagorski is a contact guy. There's a lot of contact in this game. You might be looking at another 6-out save from Franklin Hernandez, although it would not be a save unless the Jackfish runs this inning.
Morello takes it in the dirt.
Jacober, 13 strikes, 13 balls. That is tough.
If there's ever a time to throw strikes here, it's now with that 6-run lead against the Welland Jackfish.
And Morello might get the green light through. I'm not expected, but
he did not. And it's because the pitch was in the dirt for ball 4. The leadoff man is on first base, and now this has got to be the inning for the Welland Jackfish to tack on a few more.
Yeah, and Chris Nagorski is going to get loose in the Maple Leafs bullpen. I think you might even see two guys here. Maybe Zach Sloan.
I don't think we have the means for that.
Yeah, well, you got a couple. Damon brought down a couple of his guys, a couple of his bullpen catchers.
Oh, okay.
Some kids. Not kids. I mean, guys are grade 11, grade 12. Guys. Yeah, I don't think we've seen at any point this season 2 guys up that bullpen.
Imagine being a grade 11 trying to catch Franklin Hernandez.
Yeah.
Hope he doesn't bring out the break and stuff.
Yeah, that would quickly become an issue.
That pitch is just outside 1-1.
Castro won in that call. I thought Justin Marr framed it nicely, but maybe too nicely. A massive inning here. This is the biggest inning of the game, no question.
Here's a ball hit on the ground. This could be 2 again. Dan Mara flips to Vinicio. Throw on to first. In time, double play. For the 3rd inning in a row, Dylan Jacober gets the Welland Jackfish to ground into a double play, and there's 2 outs and nobody on. Dylan Jacober, the escape artist.
Cops, I have to stop the sound effects on the broadcast. I'm going to make a call, but keep amazing me right now in the postseason. I was not expecting the double play on that ball to get in. Well, the wow in the walk-off was, I thought it added dramatic.
It's pretty genuine, yeah. You can't think about that as a broadcaster.
No.
You just got to go with the flow.
Yep, and we do. That's what we do up here on the Christie Hill side. We just go with the flow, Thomas.
Yeah, way too much.
Got some nice flow, too.
I don't think people know what I look like, actually.
Well, the people that listen to Leafs Weekly.
Oh, yeah, yes. Yeah, they would know. 1-1 count. Swinging a foul off. Mattingly Romanen is the batter. Justin Gideon grounding into a double play. Wow.
I didn't think it was going to be 2. I didn't want to say also mid-call, hey, that's not going to be 2, but I had no impression that was going to be a double play. And who knows if it was safe or not. I mean, we don't have a replay here, but maybe next season.
Mara's going to come and talk something through on the mound with his young righty. Both second basemen in the game today have made some remarkable plays. Yes. Tyler Dupuis has made a couple of sliding stops. Yeah. And Dan Mara as well made a nice jumping catch to end the inning against the Welland Jackfish, and now has turned 2 double plays. Him and Jose Vinicio, a good defensive duo up the middle.
Oh, Mara's a shortstop himself, right?
Pitch is just outside.
He's Castro. Wasn't even close. No, Castro wanted it, but yeah, Dan Mara, he's a guy that's played shortstop in the past, and he began his time with the Maple Leafs back in 2010 as a shortstop.
Here's the ball hit on the ground. Jose Vinicio gobbles it up. Whips one over to first, and the inning is over. Dylan Jacober gets through 3 scoreless innings against the Welland Jackfish And the Maple Leafs lead 13-7. We head to the bottom of the seventh, and Leafs would love to keep tacking on some more insurance runs. They have not been held to 0 runs in 1 inning in this ball game today. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Couple hits for Dan Mara today and some sparkling defensive play as well for the Toronto Maple Leafs second baseman. He leads things off here at the bottom of the seventh inning. Maple Leafs leading 13-7 over the Jackfish.
Is Brett Lawson now and perhaps maybe his last time ever here at Christie Pitch. He began his time in the IBL with Guelph way back in the day after being a Minnesota's prospect. He then went to the Leafs 2011 and a few seasons with the Leafs, was traded to the Baycats with Jordan Castaldo and greatest trade in Baycats history, and now is finishing up his time in the IBL with the Jackfish.
Pitch is in the dirt, 1-1 to Mara. Last played with the Toronto Maple Leafs back in the summer of 2013.
It was a trade in June, sent Lawson and Castaldo to the Maple Leafs for John Waltenberg.
Here's a high chopper hit on the ground to third base. That's gobbled up by Roman, and high throw, but coming right back down on the bag. Where's Porcelato? And there's one away.
And one thing with Lawson, it's funny, I was looking at it yesterday, just looking at his game logs, and one thing he still does is he throws strikes. That fastball, he used to have, you talk about Mendes. Lawson was the hardest throwing Canadian pitcher in this league in his prime. Obviously, he's out of his prime now, that goes without saying, but he still throws strikes and still gives you a chance to stay in the ballgame.
So here's a matchup. Brett Lawson versus Damon Topley.
And I asked Topley, because this was the same match that they had in the regular season. I said, how cool was that facing Lawson for perhaps one last time? But here it is in a big spot in the playoffs.
Topley flares one in the air. This one's to the second baseman. Taylor Dupuis makes the catch. Damon Topley takes a few steps knowing the sure-handed Taylor Dupuis would make the catch. And if you're looking at this and saying, man, that guy on the mound looks really, really tall. Yeah, he's 6'8".
Yeah, I think he's – so I knew Lawson for many, many seasons. So I think he might be like just a bigger presence than Dustin Richardson.
Yeah.
He is something different.
Yeah, he's similar structure as well. 230 pounds, 6'8". That is a big guy on the mound.
He has a passion for baseball. I mean, he was a member of the 2014 to 2018 Baycats championship teams. So he left in 2019 in a trade. that sent the Leafs John Waltenbury, funny enough. But
Here's one hit in the air to center field. Carrington, and right there in his tracks is Morello, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are retired 1-2-3. Not only the first time the Maple Leafs have been retired 1-2-3 in this game, the first time they have not scored a run in an inning, and it's in the form of the veteran Brett Lawson. 13-10, Maple Leafs are the Welland Jackfish, trying to take a 2-0 series lead here at home. Dylan Jacober coming back out on the mound for his fourth inning of work. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Dylan Jacober is asked to do a tough task once again. Leads off with Sam Cocker. Got 1-2-3 in the Welland Jackfish lineup. A double play helped him out in the seventh inning. Now Sam Cocker leads things off in the eighth. And the first pitch is high.
And Nagorski is an option at any point if need be, but you know they'd love to get this eighth inning from Jacober to Nagorski in the ninth and save Franklin Hernandez, but a lot has to happen because the Jackfish are really back-to-back home runs, and we've seen that this game from perhaps having to go to Hernandez.
Here's a ground ball. Salazzo takes a high hop, whips a throw to first. A good play by Salazzo, one away.
And I'm just pulling this out of thin air, but I think in this game, getting the first out has been just massively important.
Yeah. Dylan Jacober has held the Welland Jackfish scoreless for 3 1/3 innings now.
Well, he's been a monster for the Leafs right now. This is his second game in a row now in the playoffs that he's bridged Dustin Richardson to the back end of the Maple Leafs bullpen. Still a lot to do, but even if he allows a home run right now, it's still been a terrific outing for the guy who began this season with Ottawa Ducks.
Pitch is low to the shortstop, James Smybert. Now Smybert fouls it right back.
Both the guy pitching and batting began this season playing independent baseball, so some high-quality content all across the IBL.
One right off the end of the bat. Smybert has a home run in the playoffs and 17 at-bats coming into this game.
Well, he loved the league in doubles. You have to think, if he was playing pitches and left-handed bat, how many of those doubles are bombs, right?
Yeah.
He's a guy that has absolute power.
7 runs on 7 hits for the Welland Jackfish. Fouled back once again. 13 runs on 13 hits for the Maple Leafs. The Welland Jackfish have also made 3 errors defensively in this game.
Nobody's up in that Jackfish bullpen. Brett Lawson coming out in the ninth.
Smybert just gets a piece once again.
You talk about unsung heroes for the Maple Leafs. I went with Carrington, but Dylan Jacober, the innings he's 8 this season.
Yeah.
He has really kept his pitching staff intact after being released by the Titans and Bobby Brown phoning up Damon Topley saying, "Do you want Dylan Jacober?"
Another 1-2. Swing and miss, strike 3. Smybert go down on a breaking ball. 2 away.
Second baseman Tyler DeBree.
I read to say Penny's player of the game for Dylan Jacober, but Canucks going back to back with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Dylan. Marcus, I mean, he's got $100 now from the last 2 games alone. He will have a time at Penny's. And he has another one he hasn't used either, he said. So, from his, the first game of the season that he played against the Panthers, so $150 he spent at Penny's.
Pretty good. You could get a lot of sliders for that.
Sliders and cheap drinks.
They're probably just getting sliders. Ground ball to third. This is going to be a tough play for Salazzo. Right on the money. John Salazzo from deep in the hole makes the play, and Dylan Jacober is through 4 scoreless innings against the Welland Jackfish. How about that? 13-7 Maple Leafs lead over Welland. This is Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Brett Lawson coming back on the mound for the Welland Jackfish. Thomas West alongside Ryan Eakin. What a ball game we've been treated to here. And, I mean, we had a pretty good idea when yesterday's game ended 15-10 that we were going to see some runs today as Jose Vanessa swings and misses at the first pitch. But, I mean, this has been back and forth all game. It was 9-2 at one point. The Welland Jackfish almost ate up the 9-2 lead, just like the Toronto Maple Leafs did last game. And now finally 13-10 Leafs.
Wow. I posted on the Instagram yesterday, not the Instagram, that the Leafs won and all that, and then I said no Leafs ever safe. You gotta listen to the guys down the third baseline. But I got that the Jackfish also read that too, so we have the same mindset too. No Leafs, and this game is not over.
Have an incredible hitting team as well.
Yes. And typically it's done via, base on balls and stolen bases and runs, but they added Justin Giddey in midseason. He's a pretty decent baseball player.
Yeah. Ball hit on the ground, foul, 2-2.
I think Jacober's coming up for the ninth inning.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, you don't want to overthink it if you're Garrett Takamatsu.
The other thing to factor in as well, it's 7, 8, and 9 coming up for the Welland Jackfish in the ninth. And there's no easy part of the Welland Jackfish lineup, but that's definitely the easiest.
And according to Matt, our point streak guy, 11 up, 11 down for Jacober.
I thought, well, yeah.
2 walks.
Yeah. And he pushed them both out on double plays. Yeah, he hasn't given up a hit.
Yeah, right, yes. And he has made the nicest play of the game with that double play. Shout out to Dan Moore at second base, too, for his play, but
Benicio chops one foul down the left field line.
Benicio hitless after a great night at the plate yesterday. But the guy can connect because Solo have said that's fine, we'll pick you up. So that's how deep this Leafs lineup is. A lot like last.
Both Benicio and Toppoli 0 for 4. Benicio fouls it off again. Two of the hottest guys coming into this game. They've been getting production from all over the lineup. Even Dan Mara, he has a couple hits.
Yep. We saw it last season. I mean, it was Bowen Riley just going absolutely berserk for the Maple Leafs. But Tack had a great playoff series. Marcus Connect was great.
Jose Benicio hammers one in the air down the left field line. It's off the top of the wall.
It's caught. It's out.
And it's gone.
No, it's out.
Jose Benicio squeaks it over the wall in the outfield. It hit the top of the fence, went straight up, and then left the yard. From back-to-back games, Benicio has hit a home run.
I'm not crazy, though, Tom. The first base ump did point out.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
But the ball ended up on the other side.
I thought Morello went on the top of the fence and then he caught it in his glove. And I was going to leave the broadcast that he did make that catch, but
if it hit the top of the fence, it wouldn't be an out. It would still be a double or whatever. If it hits the fence.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's not live. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's on me. Sorry.
Unless it hit the glove or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. You're right.
That's incredible. This is not
his first home run at Chrissy Pitts, by the way. Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea why I thought
that's insane. This is not like a fence at a ballpark where you have the padded walls that are 3 inches thick.
Oh,
this is a chain link fence.
That will never happen again.
No,
this team's been around for 50 years and hopefully they're around for another 50. That's not ever happening again.
No, that is just absurd.
And I think the guy in right, Gideon.
Yeah.
He broke his glove. Perhaps actually it might be his other hand.
Where is Justin Gideon?
Justin Gideon's in the dugout.
Oh. They were just playing baseball.
I think he realized a couple pitches in here that
Gideon wasn't on the field.
Well, no, he just decided after the second pitch to run off the field. He didn't go MIA prior to that.
Oh yeah, they're getting the gloves out. I think Justin Gideon's bleeding,
which is never a great analysis.
He might have cut his hand on the fence though.
Yeah. Justin Gideon. There is a video online of Justin Gideon against Burlington, or excuse me, when he was with Burlington. They have fences when they used to play in Burlington. A fence like down the first baseline. It was way in, and he ran right into that fence, full speed. I thought he was going to be dead. And these years later, he still has it pinned to his Twitter account, so he was alive to, tell the story and post a video because I'll show you after. It was a crazy video.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
I think he captioned it saying,
I actually think I may have seen that video now that you say that.
Okay.
Because I used to do baseball commentary in the OUA just a little bit, and Justin Gideon was playing in the OUA at that time, I believe, for the Brock Badgers.
Yep, 100%.
And it's not easy to do research on OUA players, but I think I found that video on Justin Gideon.
Yeah, there's some guys that play OUA that you can tell they're really above that level of baseball.
Yeah,
and Justin Gideon was above that level of baseball. As Castro is just lets out a yell. I mean, why not?
It was caged up. He had to let it out.
It was caged up. Yeah. And he does let it out, but he is caged up.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing happening. He just felt. So.
A little bit of concern here for Justin Gideon.
Also, I guess is that you hope Justin Gideon's okay. We don't have a dugout cam.
I assume he just cut his hand on the fence though. But
this tells me he's staying in the game, so I'm sure he's okay. I'm sure. I guess 2 pitches in, he said, "Oh, I'm bleeding."
Well, the adrenaline of that moment where the ball hits the chain link fence, goes straight up, and then he has another chance to try and keep it in the ballpark.
It's the craziest play you'll ever see.
No, yeah.
You got some nice ambient music in the background. Lots going on here at Chrissy Pitts. A little bit disappointing though today because I was hoping to see the air show, even though it may have caused issues on the broadcast with the audio. But we saw lots of long balls instead, which is not a bad trade-off.
I'll take that trade-off every day. I don't like loud noises.
Not a pro guy?
No. When I was a kid, I think my parents tried to take me to the air show, and I I'm pretty sure I just had to leave. Like I could do
No,
it.
no. I'm with you. Like I'm not a big fireworks, for example.
Right.
I've never been a big fireworks guy.
Right.
Like baseball.
Justin Mara, the batter. Gideon heads back out there. It's hard to see if there's a bandage or something on his hand. He's definitely looking at it, so there must have got some kind of.
Oh, the bleeding stops too. I mean, who knows how bad he got cut, right? I mean, I can only imagine here at Chrissy Pitts.
Yeah.
The fact he even almost made that play was quite something.
Here's the ball hit sky high. Justin Gideon's going to get another play right away. He's under it. He makes the catch. And now the Maple Leafs have one away.
Each Maple Leaf with a hit in this game, but Damon Topley. Although there was a play that he got a runner over to third base, and I think the Leafs got that run in earlier in the game. So he's done a nice little job. Quite the night for Connect. 5 RBIs. He's batting .625 in the postseason, which that's not a bad number.
It's good.
Yeah. Moneyball and all that. Gets on base.
Jordan Castaldo, the batter. Counts 0-1. Pitches inside.
Perhaps the last time, I mean, you never know, but perhaps the last time these two guys face off against each other, longtime teammates that won 5 championships together with the Baycats.
Here's a ball smoked on the ground to first base. One hopper for Porcelato, and there's 2 away, and here comes Marcus Connect.
And you Connect, I mean, you also saw him last season, but my first, obviously I saw many seasons with the Baycats and stuff, but my first impression of Connect this season was I was walking out of the Leafs dugout to get the lineup sheet, and I got struck by a ball from him in batting practice that went dead center.
Yeah.
I saw that was Connect. He's back, so heads up, I guess.
Yeah.
Because even in batting practice, that is absolutely absurd, let alone mid-game off the clubhouse.
Oh, that's an incredible, off the best pitcher maybe in the International League.
Best reliever for sure. Jose Fernandez, but yeah.
1-0. Inside. I mean, Marcus Connect could hit a 4th home run.
Don't forget, Marcus Connect back in the day was considered to be the best power hitter in the Blue Jays farm system.
Yeah.
So he's got pop. And no, he's not a big league guy, but as Chris Nagorski begins to throw again in the Leafs bullpen.
Just such a mechanically sound hitter.
Oh, he can coach. If he wants to be a hitting coach, he can be a hitting coach.
Pitches inside, 3-1. Going for the
be,
fences, Marcus.
Yeah, he's not going to be easing in for a fastball, though. I don't think Watson's going to be easing in a fastball, I should say.
It's okay. If you have good mechanics, you can adjust to anything, really.
Yeah. And he's a great guy to talk baseball with, too. I talked to him a bit after the game last week against the Baycats. Just a great guy to talk to baseball-wise, the knowledge that he has.
3-1 to Marcus Connect. Connect skies it in the air. This one might be playable for the first baseman. Porcelato coming over and makes the catch. Nice play. 3 away. 14-7 on a rather miraculous home run by Jose Vinicio this inning. And the Toronto Maple Leafs will carry a 14-7 lead to 9th inning. And who's coming back on the mound? And it looks like Chris Nagorski is going to be coming in from the bullpen to try and close this one out for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust. Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs have taken it all the way down to the final inning, and they will turn to Chris Nagorski to try and close this one out.
And Franklin Hernandez tossing just in case. Extra savings is stretching right now. No lead to save by Christy Pitts, but a 7-run lead, 7-8-9. Hope that Nagorski can attack the strike zone and get some outs.
Porcelato, the batter. It's 0 for 2 today. Another one is in there for a strike.
I think you're going to see a guy like this potentially play pro next season in independent baseball. Some teams asking about him earlier in the season. He's been quite the ball player this season for the Jackfish.
Now 3-1 hitter count on Porcelato.
If you're Nagorski, don't walk the leadoff guy. Just come in, throw a strike, get one out. Still 14-8.
Here's the ball hit on the ground sharply to Jose Vinicio. Goes down and makes the play. Throw on to first is in time. A casual play from Jose Vinicio. One away.
And that might start sitting down Franklin Hernandez. He really isn't doing much of anything in that Leafs bullpen, but he's a slick shortstop. It doesn't really matter who's coming out of the batter's box. He goes about his business the same way.
So now this will be the 8-hitter for the Welland Jackfish, Hogan Brown. Brown hits one on the ground, and that one's going to be out of the range of Dan Mara. Brown is on with a 1-out single and a little bit of life for the Welland Jackfish. Brandon Nicholson scored a run in this game, but still looking at first hit in the playoffs. Grounded into a double play his last bat. Nagorski's pitch. Low ball one.
At this point, just happily taken out. If you give up 90 feet, you give up 90 feet. Just taken out. Counting outs at this stage of the game.
If Nicholson can get on, that's when it starts to get a little bit interesting. But still is a 7-run lead for the Maple Leafs.
At what point Franklin Hernandez would come in the game, hypothetically. If you bring him in, tying run on deck, in the hole, on base. It's a question that Chris Nagorski is hoping that doesn't happen.
2-1. And 3-1. Chris Nagorski having a little bit of trouble finding a strike zone. This would be a massive win for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The underdogs taking a 2-0 series lead.
Don't tell them that they're the underdogs, though.
No. Pitches up and away, ball 4.
And you might start seeing Franklin Hernandez pitch with a bit more. Right now he's this velocity. You might see a bit more velocity and what have you.
Gianfranco Morello already has a home run in this game, but, I mean, who doesn't?
Everyone has a home run.
Marcus Connect has 3 of them, though. He's kind of
The
hoggy.
Leafs' entire infield has a home run outside of Dan Marr. Am I correct? So Lazo has a bomb? Yes, he does.
Yes. Yep. Dan Mara has a couple of his own.
And the corner outfielders also have.
Morello hits one on the ground. Jose Vinicio throws to second, onto first, in time, double play, and that will do it. The Toronto Leafs take a 2-0 series lead for the Welland Jackfish, and that is a commanding one in a 14-7 win.
And how about that? Have yourself a game. Marcus Connect. It wasn't just Connect. It was Castaldo. It was Justin Moore. It was Jose Vinicio. There was Dylan Jacober. There was everyone in this Maple Leafs team that got it done again. The Leafs lead 2-0, Thomas.
So Penny's player of the game has to go to Marcus Connect today.
Marcus Connect There's no communication needed between the PA and play-by-play on this one. Marcus Connect, have yourself another day. Have yourself a playoffs. Have yourself a week. Marcus Connect is your penny player of the game.
3 home runs in the game for Marcus Connect. 14 runs for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They get those 14 runs on 14 hits and take a commanding 2-0 series lead over the Welland Jackfish. From Thomas West and Ryan Eakin here at Dominico Field, this has been Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube, presented by TD Canada Trust.